Hey everybody, Ben here for the Bonehead podcast, and we're back again. So, Games Workshop dropped the infamously waited for Teams of Legend PDF that feature all the missing teams so far. And it's landed. It landed today. It landed a little bit hurried from the looks of it. We got very excited over here, and I think everybody on Blood Bowl World did as well. Let's give it a quick click. So if you saw the earlier video, you will know that originally Amazons landed with what was basically the Wood Elf list. So we had 0 to 4 war dancers included in the Amazon list, which it would have been absolutely horrendous. However, that has been remedied. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have another go and check through all the teams. This time we've got the old school team list, so we can just compare team to team as we go along and see what has changed. So Amazon teams, 0 to 16 tribal line women, which are 50k, movement 6, strength 3, agility 3+, passing 4+, armor 8+, with dodge, general, and agility and strength. So that is exactly the same as it used to be. Eagle warrior throwers are 75k, 6'3", 3+, 3+, 8+, dodge, pass. So they've gone up 5k. They get general and passing on a single, on a primary, and agility and strength on a secondary. So they've gone up 5k. Their passing has stayed the same essentially. So they're not as good at throwing as the human team is, which I think is really fair. That gives humans that kind of edge. Now, Amazons are rated at tier 1, and spoiler alert, they've still all got dodge everywhere forever. So they're still them. They're still the dodge team, so they've still got their angle. So it just means they can't throw as well as humans, which I think is pretty fair. Piranha warrior catchers, so they've got 2 catchers now at 75k, 6'3", 3+ agility, 5+ passing, armor 8+, catch dodge, AG, and secondary of S, which is all the same. They've gone up 5k, same stats though. And 4 blitzers at 90k apiece, which has stayed the same, 6'3", 3+, 5+, 8+ block dodge. So they've stayed 90k, which is a bit of a steal. Always used to be a bit of a steal, but at least the overall team's gone up a little bit more with your throwers and your catchers going up 5k apiece. We may see a reduction in bench or possibly rerolls for this team. We'll have to have a look at some starting rosters. So Amazons, now that they haven't been misprinted with Wood Elves, are exactly what we expected them to be. Could have hoped for a little bit of a price hike, and you never know, when they release the team proper, we may see a bit of a rejuggle of the roster. They did this with Lizardman. They released the Lizardman team in the Teams of Legend, and then they introduced Chameleon Skinks. So there is still hope, everybody, that Amazons can get juggled around a bit to just make them a little bit more different. However, right, we've got Chaos Dwarves, so Hobgoblin linemen, 40k apiece, 6'3", 3+, 4+, 8+, no skills, which is exactly the same as they used to be. Chaos Dwarf blockers, 70k, 4'3", 4+, 6+, 10+, block, tackle, thick skull, general strength and mutations on a double, exactly as they used to be. Bull Centaurs, 130k, same as they used to be, 6'4", 4+, 6+, 10+, sprint, sure feet, thick skull, general and strength, with agility on a secondary. That's exactly the same as well. And they've got a Minotaur, who is just a standard Minotaur. Team rerolls have been corrected now. They are now 70 gold pieces, 70k each. So, as it used to be. So the Chaos Dwarf team has basically stayed the same. Amazons have technically got a little bit more expensive. I think Chaos Dwarves are going to be just fine. So let's have a look at High Elves now. So linemen, 70k apiece, movement 6, strength 3, agility 2+, passing 4+, armor 9+, no skills. So that's stayed the same as well. 6, 3, 4, 8, no. Yep, AG and PS. These guys get passing on their linemen, which is a little bit rare in this edition. So they've stayed the same cost, but the passing has dropped. But passing has dropped on everybody everywhere, except a couple of throwers. Talking of throwers, these guys got 0 to 2 throwers, 100k, movement 6, strength 3, agility 2+, passing 2+, armor 9+, cloudburster, pass, and safe pass. So they've gone up 10k. The stats have stayed the same. They've got cloudburster now, as well as pass and safe pass. Now, cloudburster means they get to force the opponent to re-roll a successful deflection result on a long or long bomb pass. So that and safe pass means these guys are never getting intercepted. it's not really worth 10k. So that price increase, along with, I don't know. The high elf throwers are supposed to be the best throwers in the game. They are the safest throwers in the game, and everybody knows that safety is loved by everybody. So high vis throwers there from the high elves. 0 to 4 catchers, 90k, 8-3, 2+, 5+, 8+ catch. They are exactly the same. GA on primary, strength on secondary. That's still quite useful. Blitzers, 100k, which is the same. Movement 7. Strength 3, agility 2+, passing 4+, 9+ armor, and block AG. So they are the same as well. And their rerolls looks like they stayed the same at 50k as well. So High Elf team has got a little bit more expensive in the way of its thrower, but the thrower's got Cloudburst to kind of differentiate itself a little bit. I don't think that's going to be enough to make that team particularly exciting. But that was kind of one of the struggles with High Elves before. They were consistent, so that might be alright. High armor. Okay, then we have got Norse. So Norse, I think, have basically stayed the same as they were before, just with a cheeky little port over. 0 to 12, lineman 50k, movement 6, strength 3, agility 3+, passing 4+, armor 8+, and block, which is the same as before. We've got 2 throwers at 70k, 633, 3+ block pass, basically. So that has stayed the same as well. Block, passing on a 3+, so not as good as the human thrower, which is appropriate with if you consider the design, the way that this Blood Bowl version is being designed. So Norse have block, Amazons have dodge, humans have a bit of everything. So I like that the thrower is better in the human team. Okay, we've got 0 to 2 Norse catchers, 90k, that's the same. 7-3, 3+, 5+, 8+ block dauntless, that stayed exactly the same. Berserkers here, 0 to 2, 90k, 6-3, 3+, 5+, 8+, which has stayed the same. They've got frenzy. They've got block, frenzy, and jump up. Yep, that's the same. Elf Warriors, 105k, so they've actually gone 5k cheaper, the Elves. 6 movement, 4 strength, 4+ agility. So agility has been fixed to be the same basically as it was before. No passing, 9+, and frenzy for those guys. That's about right. And the Snow Troll has been fixed to have loner as well. 140k, stayed the same price. And it's got the same skills, so movement 5, strength 5, agility 5+, passing, dash, AV 9+, claws, disturbing presence, frenzy, loner 4+, and unchanneled fury. So Norse have really stayed the same. They've got the same reroll cost of 60k as well. So that's good. So no big changes there. Elf's got 5k cheaper. I'm not sure how much of a difference that's going to make. So there's one thing on the Tomb Kings team that we are expecting to be fixed as well, which is the Anointed Blitzers have got primary agility strength and secondary agility strength. We're expecting that to be primary GS. We think that's just another one of the typos that we have yet to get fixed by GW. So Tomb Kings, Skeleton Lineman, 40k a piece, 5-3, 4+, 6+, 8+ regeneration, thick skull, so standard skeletons, nothing different there. 2 Anointed Throwers at 70k, movement 6, strength 3, agility 4+, passing 3+, which is quite good for undead, armor 8+, pass, regeneration, sure hands, and thick skull, general and passing. So the Anointed Throwers stayed exactly the same, which is cool. Actually, they got thick skull. They've gained thick skull, which makes sense because they're all skeletons with stuff added to them. We've got 0 to 2 Anointed Blitzers, 90k, movement 6, strength 3, agility 4+, passing 6+, armor 9+, block, regen, thick skull. So these guys gained thick skull and stayed the same price. We're waiting for the skill access to get updated. 0 to 4 Tomb Guardians, 100k a piece, movement 4, strength 5, agility 5+, armor 10+, decay and regeneration with strength on a general. So they've stayed the same as well, and rerolls at 70k, rerolls at 70k. So overall, Tomb Kings only got worse by passing, and that's exactly in line with every other team. So now we've got Vampires. Now Vampires got changed a little bit. No new positionals, no number changes, but the way one of their skills works is actually quite a bit different now. So vampires, we've got 0 to 12 thralls, 40k apiece, 6-3, 3+, 5+, 8+, no skills, so that is exactly the same. And then we've got vampire blitzers, so 0 to 6, 110k, so stayed the same price. Movement 6, strength 4, agility 2+, which is what we would expect, passing 3+, which is kind of what we would expect in this new edition. Old school, they are passing on a 2+, but obviously Games Workshop wants to limit the ability to 2+ pass. Armor 9+, which makes sense. So they've now got Animal Savagery, Hypnotic Gaze, and Regeneration, with Agility, General, and Strength on a normal, and Passing on a double. So the skills have stayed the same, but basically Bloodlust has been replaced by Animal Savagery. Now, Animal Savagery is the same skill that the Rat Ogre has, which is essentially wild animal. So if you want to punch something, whether you want to blitz or block, it's 2+ to do it. Or if you want to wander around, it's a 4+ to do it. If you fail though with Animal Savagery, you can basically roll an armor roll against somebody who is next door to you that's on your same team. So whereas Bloodlust, you used to have to chomp on a thrall at the end of the action, Vampire Blitzers have to do that, but now it's at the beginning of the action. So, and if it fails, they go boneheaded, so they don't run off the pitch. I'm not sure if that's better or worse. To move around, they're now less consistent, but to blitz and block, you will never lose your blitz, and you will never have a turnover with a vampire with the ball running off. You may have a turnover, you may have something worse than a turnover, which is that your vampire with the ball may just lose his tackle zone and stand there doing nothing. It's interesting. I don't think they are remotely done with vampires. In fact, I think all these teams are in the line for redevelopment, and I think we can kind of go with that, with the fact they've presented rules for them. They could have just let them merrily die away. So good job to Games Workshop getting this out to community. Less good job proofreading it first. Maybe should have taken an extra week and landed it on launch. You know, the original Blood Bowl leak was not down to GW. This one was down to GW, and that's fine. These things happen. So vampires, I think, are prime for a bit of redevelopment there. But Animal Savagery is going to at least make vampires play different. Tomb Kings are going to be the same. Norse are going to be the same. High Elves are going to be the same. Their thrower got more expensive, which means they're probably going to get used a little less. Chaos Dwarf, and there's a whole host of Chaos Dwarf teams out there. They're going to be good. And Amazons are just Amazoning. But at least a couple of the players got more expensive, so it makes it more competitive. So it's going to be really interesting to see what you can fit into 1,000 points. So we will get those videos out as quickly as we can, because I think it's really important. As this second edition lands, guys in your league are going to want to play their teams, and I'm really glad they've got all of the teams here, with the exception of Khorne, Bretonnian and Slann, which were all created by the community. So as I said in the earlier video, I'm hoping that the great work that the community did before will allow us to get those teams kind of passed through and accepted by all, because I would love to continue playing with my Slann team. I would really love a plastic Slann team from Games Workshop where they all got pogo stick, because it's just wicked. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video now. Hopefully there'll be no more changes for today, with the exception of that general skill access for the Khemri Blitzer. But it's so good that we've got these teams here. I'm excited now, and everyone can still play Blood Bowl. So I will catch you guys later. Thanks very much for watching.